My firefighter is Philip Craig Ginter. His last call was February 21st, 2021. He went out to a chicken house fire. I expected him back at midnight, and after I had said goodbye to him, and I never did this before, I watched the fire trucks go by and I waved to him. I asked him, last thing I said to him was, "Do you have your keys?" And he said yes. And so when there was a knock on the door and the ringing of the bell at midnight, I was like, "Darn you, you forgot your keys." So the dog and I went downstairs, and I opened the door expecting to see Craig, and it was the fire chief. Craig was witty. He laughed all the time. He was this big teddy bear of a man. He was 6'1", shoulders that were like this wide, and when he wrapped you in his arms, you knew that you were secure and protected. And he was my hero. He still is my hero. He gave everything to his church, his community, to his fire company, to his ambulance company. He drove the ambulance, he drove tanker, he drove engine. He was always there for everybody. He was the first firefighter lost at this fire company since its inception in the 1800s. So it really rocked the community. He always had a gleam in his eye, a mischievous gleam in his eye, and he just had a wonderful personality. Our fire department is a all-volunteer fire department from Beavertown, Pennsylvania. It's called Rescue Hose Company 20, and it's the only volunteer fire company left in Snyder County. The rest have now gone to be paid. He was just thrilled to belong to a company that still had volunteers, and they have continued to support me. I am part of the fire company family. I am part of the ambulance family, and if I ever need anything, they have come together to help. Craig was known as Craig. He was never known as Philip. His name was Philip Craig Ginter, and he was always known as Craig. And everybody, they loved the way he laughed, and they loved his personality. And he never went anywhere that he wasn't liked. Anybody he met, he was easily lovable, likable. When he entered a room, he filled that room with his personality. He had a very big personality. He and my dad always kidded back and forth. And one thing my dad always kidded Craig about was, "You can drive me, except you are not allowed to get any extra paperwork. No tickets." So no, any place that Craig would drive, nope. No extra paperwork, and that would be the first thing he would ever say to Craig every time he got in, and Craig would always laugh back at him, "Nope, no extra paperwork, Dad." So he just had this good sense of humor. He was always early, never on time, never late. He was always early, and he always enjoyed cooking at the fire company carnival. He did a lot of that. You would always find him up there doing the sausages and hamburgers. He was always at the grill, and when we had our pot pie suppers, he would always be with that. When we were making donuts or Easter eggs, he would help out any way that he could volunteer in the community. He was that volunteer. I miss most the dancing in the kitchen every night. At the end of the day, every night, we danced in the kitchen. It slowed down our day. It reconnected us. And I don't think people today take the time to slow down and reconnect as much as we should. Having his arms around me and taking that, sometimes it's only 3 minutes at the end of the day, to reconnect and dance in the kitchen. And when people ask me about my firefighter, I said, if you want to honor my firefighter tonight, go home and with your special someone, dance in the kitchen, reconnect. Because it takes no time at all, but it is so important to do that. Pick any song, it doesn't matter what song, but dance in the kitchen. It's important. Firefighting was a passion of his. He was a volunteer all those years. He also had a passion for fishing, hunting, kayaking. He loved reading to the grandkids. And he was very passionate for Christ. He was passionate to bring people to Christ. And he would definitely want people to know that. I know one day I will see him again. And that's what makes me celebrate my firefighter.
Here's to you, with that smile on your face. Here's to you, and what I want to raise to this moment we share.